Policy 1010 must be modified primarily to keep all authority with the elected officials, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. So I would like to suggest that the first sentence be retained, where it states it's the primary duty of the school board to establish policies and that of the superintendent to administer those policies. I would suggest that this statement designates the board as kind of a group or joint CEO, chief executive officers of the district, and the superintendent as the COO, chief operating officer. So I would cross out line 22 that states the superintendent is the CEO. Because to call the superintendent the CEO and the board the chief governing body kind of infers a relationship, for example, like we have at the federal level, where there's an executive branch and a legislative branch with co-equal powers to provide checks and balances for governing. And this model is not reflective of the reality of how this school district is supposed to work. The duties of the members of the school board as elected officials encompass both the legislative and executive offices, which would be the CEO, while the superintendent, a non-elected official, is executing operations as a COO and advisor to the board with no power to check the board's authority or power. The fact that the council to the school district is allowing this language, which encourages the transfer of more and more power to the superintendent, makes one wonder if the public's interest is primary, which should be the proper alignment of things. SB 864 was signed into law to put the power back where it belongs, to the parents, taxpayers, and voters. And Matt Hudson affirmed that 864's purpose was to give that local control back to the parents through the authority given to the elected officials. This policy does not reflect state law, as evidenced by the ceding of too much power to the superintendent. Advice from counsel here seems to be misdirected. The board may need to employ a separate attorney that will work to retain the legal and proper power for the true CEOs, which is the board, as opposed to the current council, which seems eager to wrest power from the board in an effort to transfer more power to an unelected superintendent. Moving on, line 30 should include the phrase, new and revised policies can be suggested by board members to the other board members. Take out to the superintendent. And then revise 31 and 32 by adding the board members may bring their own research and report findings during board meetings. The superintendent should not have a monopoly on research and information. The superintendent should not have the power to gag or restrain individual board members in any way if they decide to more diligently pursue the responsibility of their duty as representatives of the families of Collier County. Thank you.